Welcome back. Now let us go and do the detailed hands-on, and I have kept the PPT and the code in a side by side. So this one we have already done it, and now let us move to next one. And yes, see, generally what happens, this input and output, this is the follow something. So that input the things over here, either you display or provide some kind of input. This input goes to the server, and this process is called rendering, and the server process and this sends back to the output. So this is the cycle: input, render, and output. This is the how this complete cycle really works out. So this works out for almost all the things which we are going to learn. So now let us learn one of the control. On the UI side, you are going to have the something lot of the control, and this fluid page I will explain at the appropriate time. Right now, simply write it as a fluid page, and I will explain. And this is the widget that the control. UI control slider input. So it is having something called input ID, and whatever the ID you give, that will be recognized by the server. So make sure you give the proper name, and there should not be any duplicate. And the label you can give it as per your name, as per your choice. The value, what it will start with. And in case on one thing, let me explain. See, all the inputs are having the template like this. First ID, which will be, you have to make it unique, and this is how the server recognize. Second thing, the label, depending upon your label and all. So after the first, it is everything depending upon the control. So for example, see, this slider input has some value which has to display minimum and maximum. This is what minimum and this is what maximum. So this is these three things. So it may happen that for the different input, it will have the different. So this input ID is the same, and remaining things depend upon the different types of control. Okay, and this is recognized by the server, and this is also known as a reactive value, which I'll keep on explaining that what is the meaning of reactive value. There are many UI controls, and the detail are available over here. So there are button, that button is having two types: action button, submit button, and this action button can be used by this action button, submit button here, single checkbox, group, date input, date range, file input, all these things whatever you saw, the slider I have explained, it is available by the RS9, and RStudio has done a good amount of work, very good work, and all this widget gallery they have given. Exactly, and working is similar the way it was there in the previous one, that it has a similar template all. So if you can work with one, you can work with any other. Now let us go ahead and do the template. So in the first program, how are we going to put it in input? Fluid page I'll explain later. So input control like this. This is the things function. This is the same function which you have over here. Okay, here this one, and it is the ID, and rest is say specific to the slider input. That's all. As of now, we are keeping the server empty, and we'll see that how to put it one by one. Okay. Now let us go ahead and do the few things on the output side. On the output side, this was for the input. The output which server gives to the UI, that can be done by the similar function. So that is, this is will be used for the table. This is for HTML. This is for image. Plot output for the plot. Table output for table. Text output for the text. UI output for the sign UI element. This one I will explain. You may not understand right now, but this one I will explain sometime later. And there is also hands-on for this one. And this is again text output. Okay. And now let us go ahead. And then how to write a server function. Okay. So server function is if you see that whatever is there in the output, and this dollar, whatever you assign as a dollar, that all the things ID and everything will be coming as the that will be recognized by the server. So when you say the output and $hist, so this hist will be sent to the UI, and UI code will catch that like this. So this is the hist. This is the hist, exactly this is the hist. So on the server side it will be denoted like this, on the UI side it will be denoted like this. Okay, and a render means again that processing at the server side and sending to the UI side. Okay, and how to build it, like output $hist and the render plot. So these things you are going to write at the server side, and this will be used by the UI side. So you can write like this way, you can write like this. This is a code means here. So what we are calling the histogram, we are taking the random normal, and that's all. So this is the way we write the server function. Now in case of render function, if you see, this is the inside we are using the render function. So there are a lot of the render functions, render for data table, for image, plot, printing, table, text, UI, and so on. So we'll start using it. Sorry, it went here. We are here, render function. Okay, now let us start using it. And this template v3, that let me explain it first, because understanding is more important, and after this you will see that we have to only understand on the RStudio. So this is our library. This is how we are going to an UI. This is the UI control which we'll see, and the output control we are displaying. This is coming from output, and on output side, that is the server side, it has been defined like this. It has a render plot, it means it has to give the plot, and this is the content. Histogram it has to display, and the data it will be the some normal distribution, random normal, and this SI, this is again taking input, this is this SI. Okay, and this is the hist, this is the hist. That's all. So this is how, this is your UI function, and this is your server function. That's all. And this is the way you write it. It means now you are ready to work with UI and server. That's all. So let us please open the file 2. So file 2 is here. That's all. So let me run it first, then explain it. So if you run, you can see one slider and one histogram. So how it has come, this slider, let me put this over here. Let me make it a little small. Yes. The slider which you see over here is, this is the slider. The value 25, it is showing in 1 max 100, and this output, it is here, that histogram. And the histogram, how it is getting built, it is getting built. So this histogram is getting built here in line number 15, and then it is going to the UI, and in line number 10 UI is catching and displaying it. So see how simple it is. Okay, how simple it is. And let's close it. So that's all for this one, and the next bit will start little higher concept. Thanks for watching it. See you in the next one.